Hey Joe fans, I'm Joefan82 here with another Sunday stream. It's 9 o'clock on Sunday. That means it's time for a Sunday stream here on the Joefan82 YouTube channel. And tonight I have a very special guest with us. It's MacDowin. MacDowin, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself and let everyone know who you are and what you do here on YouTube.
Wait, you said we only have an hour. So I'm me. He introduced me, and I've been around the online G.I. Joe community since 1998, and I started my YouTube channel in, I have to look at my calendar here, 2018, I think it was. So it's been three years now. So doing G.I. Joe and then Fortnite stuff.
And so, you
I missed something.
Would you say that you're predominantly now a Fortnite guy? No.
No. G.I. Joe will always top it. Always. Okay. Always. Fortnite's just now. G.I. Joe's forever.
We've got a couple people tuning in here. We've got cool. Dave C. Hey, man. And we've got Death Trooper. Hey, how's it going? I want to remind everybody that I do have Super Chat enabled here on the channel. So if you want to donate to the channel, you can do that at the chat. There's a little option there for Super Chat that goes to help the channel and help it grow. So whatever you feel like contributing to that, it will be much appreciated. And another reminder that this Sunday stream happens every Sunday right here at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And let me just say, shout out Woodman29. Hey, a couple of regulars tuning in here. Eric T. Hey, Lurch, like that name. You rang. I don't mean to make fun of your name, Lurch, but that just reminds me of Lurch from the Addams. If you don't know the Addams Family, I don't know how young everybody is. So if we got some younger people in the audience, they might not know what that is.
There is a big range for Addams Family understanding.
Well,
black and white to the movies.
And you've got that animated movie that came out.
Yeah. You rang.
Okay, so I wanted to get your opinion on the Lurch says, had this nickname since 3rd grade.
I've had my nickname for a long time.
MacDowin, I wanted to get your opinion on the recent reveals for the movie G.I. Joe Classified figures, and that would be these guys right here.
Well, I would ask if you want controversy on your channel, but I saw your last video, or maybe it was like the video before that, which, by the way, awesome, just so you know. Okay, I will say this. I keep trying to have to look at the camera, so I actually looking at you. I like them all. I like them all. There's the bottom line right there. And I have different reasons for liking all of them.
Okay.
Any specific questions now that I just said that?
All right. What's your reason for liking Baroness, which seems to be a controversial figure depending on who you talk to?
Well, I will say this to anyone who might not remember. Back in 2005, I think it was, I'm checking here real quick, 2002, we had a short hair Baroness in the G.I. Joe versus Cobra line, and she didn't look bad. And this, I don't think looked bad. Come on. Does everyone keep their hair the same their entire life? No. Sometimes we have good looks, sometimes we have bad looks. So whatever. I mean, it's the Baroness, You want to tell her she's got a bad haircut? Really? I mean, come on.
and I think a lot of people forget that hair does grow.
Mm-hmm. It does.
It can grow back.
And this is an early story. This is an origin story. So maybe this was in her, young adolescent. I'm sorry I made a bad hair decision, and it'll be longer. Maybe it's an actress thing. I haven't looked at the actress. Maybe it's her, and maybe she's got like this thing. I'm never going to have long hair. I don't know. I don't care. I mean, it's hair. Come on, really? Are we nitpicking over hair? Really? Are we there?
Sadly, yeah.
Are we
Yes.
really there? Dude, yeah, I love the removable glasses are pretty cool. I guess
that is, yeah, and along the lines of the roadblock we got earlier. Hopefully these stay on a little bit better. Mine was a little bit loose, like if you touched it the wrong way, they kind of.
So I'll jump around these here real quick. So I like Akiko. Why? Number one, she's a brand new character. That's great. We need some new characters. When did G.I. Joe in the vintage line, the one that everybody apparently loves so much, when did it not have new characters every single year? And it came back in the classic collection. When did it not have a new character? When we got G.I. Joe versus Cobra, Valor versus Venom, Spy Troops, every iteration of G.I. Joe has always had a new character. That's great. One thing, and I'm going to do a quick little shout out to What's on Joe Mind, and that is, I think it was Mark Weber who brought up something very fascinating about Akiko, and that is her costume has a bit of Snake Eyes and a bit of Storm Shadow in it, the coloring. I just thought that was really cool. I thought I'd say that.
That's right. I heard the same thing, and I hadn't thought about it.
And that's really cool to think about. Yeah. Snake Eyes, I mean, come on, he's black, he's always going to be in a black outfit. He's always cool, right? I mean, some people don't like purple. Some people don't like, oh, you shush. Some people don't like the blue Snake Eyes. Some people don't like the red Snake Eyes. I mean, whatever. It's a black, very traditional Snake Eyes. I like Storm Shadow because I don't remember many people complaining about Snake Eyes version 1 that was all black with no color whatsoever. So I like him. I just like the look of him. I think he looks really cool in the off-white. I don't need tons of color. He's actually, yeah. Was it a bone white? I just like the look.
That's what they said. They said bone white. Lenny said bone white.
I think, and from what I remember hearing with the interview about it or the discussion about it, I hear there's a lot of detail. And I think anybody is really truly foolish to make a snap decision when they're looking on a computer screen or a TV screen or especially a phone screen so dinky. I think we really need to give everything a chance until we have it in hand. They mentioned the detail on this thing, and I bet there's going to be some detail that looks really cool, because on accessories there is sometimes unpainted detail that looks really cool. So
Lurch has a comment here. He says, I heard these figures have no boot or lower leg articulation. So I'm not sure about that. You might be referring to the kids line that they premiered, that they revealed. I have a feeling.
Well, what does he mean by that? Like at the at the boot.
Like, at the top of the boot, the figures turn. I think that's.
I'm looking at Storm Shadow, and that's true. I don't see any articulation like at the calf, the boot. That's so maybe point.
Maybe he's right. Maybe you're right about that. I assumed that they would with the other.
It doesn't bug me too much. I mean, come on. What did we come from? Vintage O-ring, which had knee joints, elbow joints, shoulder joints, neck joint, waist joint. No chest, no ankle, no wrist, no thigh. I mean, come on, everyone says they love these vintage. Why are they junking all over these? I mean, this has more articulation than those suckers.
And everybody.
Yeah, the real fans.
The real fan. Everybody wants vintage reissue at the same time.
Yeah.
I had. I remember. Let me see if I can. Hold on.
And I'll just say real quick, Scarlet's awesome. I just like Scarlet. That's a great looking figure.
I've heard a lot of people say that Scarlet, they prefer this movie Scarlet over the Scarlet that we've had previously in the classified line.
Ooh, look at that.
So I wanted to ask you about Akiko, thing that
look at that.
Brought up. Yeah, that's a great shot.
And I love Baroness.
Something that Mark brought up on What's on Joe Mind that, and I think I mentioned it too in my last week in my stream, that there's a good chance that this character is not going to make it out of the movie. Do you agree with that? Do you think we'll be seeing Akiko?
Why not? I think she's done for in that first movie.
Okay.
I think so. Could be wrong. I mean, this is all speculation. I don't want her to be, but you know, what are you gonna do? You already have fans really mad that they don't like most of these figures, so let's go and kill someone they all like. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's the thing. If everybody had their way and this was Jinx, like everybody said, why not?
I don't think
Jinx? So. Then when the character gets killed off in the movie, everybody would be mad. Well, why did you off Jinx? Well, you wanted it to be Jinx. So
yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to make it out alive. I don't want to take any bets on her.
No. Yeah. And I'm happy to be wrong, but yeah, I kind of think she's that character. I think so. And now, actually, unless there is a wave 2 of movie figures, because are these the only characters going to be in the movie? We've got some masters. I bet I would take a small bet, not a big bet, a small bet. We get some more movie figures, maybe sometime. Okay, these are after the movie, but like sometime later. I bet we get some more movie figures.
I would hope so. Like another wave of 5, maybe. Yeah, like a hard master, or I don't know if hard master is in the movie.
I think there's 2 of them. I think there's a blind and a hard. I think so.
Now is who played the blind master in Retaliation? Do you remember that off the top of your head?
No clue on that one.
I don't think he's going to be playing the same. I don't think that same actor is going to be back. Shout out to Michael Mercy. He says, "Oh, no disco version in the sequel." No,
I want Pimp Daddy Destro in the sequel. I mean, Prophet Director Destro. Sorry,
Prophet. Yeah, Prophet Director. Yeah, I remember it was Josiah says the rapper. Yeah, I don't want to say the wrong name.
Let's see. So yeah, there's a Hard Master, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Hard Master, Blind Master, Baroness, Scarlet, and Akiko. That's the cast on Wikipedia, because Wikipedia knows everything.
Well, of course, and it's always
100% right.
100% accurate. Yeah. RZA was the blind master in Retaliation.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yes, Michael got it before I.
Oh well, that's the rapper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Draws, I agree with you. The diorama for those figures. Oh man.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I think across the board, everything that they've done as far as product shots within like the scenery and stuff for the classified line has been top notch. I've liked all of it. It really takes me back to the catalog stuff, from the vintage line.
Now, if we could just get some pictures of kids actually going, like the commercials.
I've seen some, at least one person here on YouTube that made a sort of retro style commercial like that with kids with the He-Man Origins line. I don't know if you've seen that.
I think so. It sounds real familiar.
It looks like something that was made, 30 years ago.
I think I did see that, actually. Yeah, I'm looking it up real quick. Yeah, this actress who did Baroness looks like she's got like short hair everywhere.
Yeah, maybe it was in her contract. I don't do long hair.
Yeah, it's shoulder length or above. I'm not seeing anything that's beyond shoulder length. So, but still looks pretty good. Why not?
Action figure expert. Hey man, thanks for tuning in tonight. Good to see you. And Michael says, yeah, they need to release diorama sets. We've got figures already. What we need is environment.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be.
If they, instead of a build a figure, it's build a diorama.
Build a ninja temple. Build a street scene.
Yeah, I think that would be great, especially for collectors. Who I know, I don't think. I think collectors are still the target for this classified line. That's why they have the separate kids line. And let me just ask you, do I have a picture? Hold on. What do you think painting out the kids line? The kids line, like all the kids line.
Do you want to know how big of a Joe fan I am? You want to know how real of a Joe fan I am? I like them. I like them all. I like, especially that Night Creeper, dude. I can't. The two I am excited for are Tech Snake Eyes and Night Creeper. Those are my two favorite. Those are the ones I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking at them over here, so yeah.
I just got here we go,
dude.
Yeah,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, again, with the articulation, if some people are kind of irritated because, well, they don't have the articulation classified. Again, I'll say, vintage G.I. Joe only had how many points of articulation in what joints? I mean, come on. Looking at these are minus like 1 point of articulation away from a DC Spin Masters action figure, and those are really pretty good. These have got all the things you need. They've got the neck twist, they've got a shoulder hinge and rotation, an elbow rotation, knees at the hips, the waist. They got what you need. I mean, you can have some adventures with these guys. Get them out in the dirt and the grass, man. These are good. I like them.
I'm right. I think I might be in the minority that I also kind of like that Tech Snake Eyes. I'm guarantee we're not seeing that in the movie, but I know it really reminds me of the old the line that came out with the Batman Returns movie that we saw. Arctic Batman, Aqua Batman, like every shade under the rainbow of Batman. Which as a kid I loved it. I know collectors now, from adult perspective, it might not be so nice, but as a kid I really liked it.
Dude, I want Jungle Snake Eyes. I want Arctic Snake Eyes. I want Swamp Snake Eyes. I want Vehicle Driver. I want Mechanic. I want, just whatever Snake Eyes, Dude, no Snake Eyes. Okay, well, come on. Profit Director Snake Eyes wouldn't be too bad, would it?
That's a separate branch of the military, I think.
That's a separate branch. How about, okay, after all this time, I want a Baroness in the leopard Destro print. Well, that would be cool.
That's those figures are behind the beaded curtain. In the, Josiah has a good point. Much articulation is bad for kids' playability. I think depending on the kid's age, you might have a point there.
Dude, we can go so far as to say too much articulation is bad for collectors. I mean, I try to pose some of these things when I do like a video review. Sometimes these just like twist and fall all over the place. There's so much to do. I can't get them to stand sometimes because everything wants to twist and twirl and hinge all over the place. It gets difficult sometimes to stand up with some of these guys.
That reminds me of something. Hold on one second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Say some more stuff.
Say some more stuff. Well, I like the Eco Warrior Snake Eyes over here. So I want an Eco Warrior Snake Eyes. Give me a Sky Patrol Snake Eyes, a Tiger Force. Let's do Python Patrol. Anyway, so yeah. Hi, everybody. Apparently it's my show while he's gone, which is scary. So while he's gone, come visit my channel, MacDowin. And if you're interested in Fortnite, action figures, and DC, whatever, McFarlane stuff, and Halo, whatever. Good, he's back. Yeah, he's back.
Sorry. So you're talking about articulation. My son had some of my old superhero figures out the other day, and he had a Spider-Man that my brother and I had when we were kids. Came out in the 90s. It was one of the first that had super articulation. But it kind of felt like a rag doll a little bit. It wasn't the sturdiest, but it was super articulated, like the ankles and the wrists and everything. So I was gonna show up. I couldn't find.
Dangling around.
I couldn't find.
Yeah, some of those figures get dangly and very loose. Yeah, like I've had a few of these classified figures get loose on me. I hold up, I think it's the 00 Snake Eyes. I can do this, and he just wobbles all over the place. Arctic Storm Shadow, he came out, he was wobbly out of the box with that ab crunch. And so, I don't like the ab crunch, but anyway.
Speaking of Snake Eyes, I wanted to ask you, since you are a Fortnite aficionado.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. Oh, I wanted to ask you about this Fortnite version of Snake Eyes that was revealed a couple of weeks ago now, I guess.
Back in January already.
Was it January? It feels like
January, dude.
I'm like, all right, January. Sorry.
January. Can you believe it?
I know. It's like time now is warping around me. All right, so here,
yeah.
This is the Fortnite Snake Eyes, and
nice.
So you're a Fortnite guy. What did this figure rock the Fortnite community?
No. They're like, Snake Eyes who? Who? And then I get, like, in my videos, I get a lot of comments like, oh, it's the dude from Fortnite. I'm like, no. But I think they do that to mess around, because they'll say, like, hey, it's Master Chief. Oh, that's a guy from Fortnite. No. Or Kratos, it's a guy from Fortnite. No. I mean, Fortnite people are interesting.
Do you think this was an attempt to introduce Snake Eyes to the Fortnite, or G.I. Joe to the Fortnite community, or vice versa?
How much do you know about Epic Games' love affair with G.I. Joe? Do you know anything?
No, nothing. My knowledge is zero.
All right, so I'm drawing a blank on his name. Mr. Mustard, I can't remember his first name. The guy who designs it grew up with G.I. Joe, the 4-inch 3 3/4 guys.
He designs the Fortnite,
the game itself.
Okay.
Yeah, he comes up, Donald Mustard. He comes up with, like, all the stuff, and he may be like lead. I don't know if, I'm sure they have, like, a team of people, but he was in love with this stuff. And I know for a fact when Jazzers went and did their presentation to Epic Games for their 4-inch figures, because the designer of the figures wanted 4-inch, because, like a lot of other people, grew up with the G.I. Joe figures. Like, I love G.I. Joe. I want 4-inch as our first line out there. And so all the Fortnite action figures, and the reason Snake Eyes is in the game is because these people were in love. You know, they enjoyed G.I. Joe from a very young age. And it's just, Donald wanted to get G.I. Joe in the game somehow. And he's been wanting to get Batman and Snake Eyes into the game for a while. That's why I'm not super surprised that Snake Eyes and Batman are sharing a comic book with issue 3 of the Fortnite Batman 0 Point comic book that's coming up in May. And so they've really been pushing to get G.I. Joe in there. And it finally worked. There's actually multiple characters that reference G.I. Joe. There's 8-Ball that kind of is a call over to Snake Eyes. There's Scratch, which is for Storm Shadow. There's another one that's like an Alley Viper look. There's someone that resembles a Shockwave, like version 1 Shockwave. There's a few.
There's one I think that a lot of people know. I think even the G.I. Joe community knows about, is like the Firefly guy. I don't know what his Fortnite name is. I just know him as Havoc. Okay.
Havoc.
Yeah.
Yeah, that of all the ones too.
Lurch has both versions, and you have both versions, don't you, MacDowin?
I have a couple of them each.
So let me ask you: I see the 1/18th scale Fortnite figures are still at retail. They're on the. Are those selling well? They've been selling them for a while now.
Oh my goodness, they're off the shelves. It's amazing.
Because I hear from other people that 1/18th scale is dead. Nobody wants 1/18th scale. But then I still see the Fortnite figures, and if
they have a very narrow mind view, or world view, apparently. No, 1/18 is not dead. It really isn't. They're out of okay. So Jazzwares puts out the 4-inch figures, the 6-inch figures, and the 12-inch figures. They have gotten actual international or global whatever toy awards for their 4-inch various things. Like the Battle Bus was a huge seller. last year. And the year before that, their big jumbo llama was the number one toy of the year. Whoever judges that, I don't know who judges toy of the year, but they have gotten awards for their 4-inch line where they haven't for the 6-inch line. So
so you got Fortnite doing the 4-inch, and that reminds me that who is it? Mattel doing the Jurassic Park stuff, which is also 1/18 scale.
That's small stuff. That's a little bit. That's like 3.5, I think. Those are small figures.
They're
like Star Wars vintage size.
Sorry, I'm going through the chat here just to see if I missed anything.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about 1/18 is it's possible. I've heard these rumors that companies like Hasbro are trying to push is it 1/12? Is that 6-inch? Yeah, 1/12 is 6-inch. Trying to push into that because the figures cost about the same amount. The 4-inch versus 6-inch cost about the same amount of money to make. They get to charge more, make more money, la-di-da-di, whatever. And so because they were the big pusher towards it, they were the ones that probably had the most figures. Jazzwares really wanted to get those out. They've had 4-inch lines before Fortnite. They had like an Assassin's Creed line. And I've heard that didn't do well, but then they dumped it in the middle of making it as soon as they got Fortnite. But yeah, Fortnite really showed that you can do this. That 1/18 is around.
Does Jazzwares still have the license for Fortnite, or does Hasbro now have? Okay.
It's really weird. It's mixed up.
I'm a little confused with that.
Since 2018, McFarlane's had 7-inch. Jazzwares has had 12-inch, 6-inch, 4-inch. Moose Toys has had 2.5-inch, somewhere in there. This year, things changed. Hasbro got 6-inch and above. So the rumor is McFarlane has nothing. Jazzwares lost their 6-inch line and their 12-inch line. They will still produce their 4-inch line, from what I understand, even more. And Moose Toys apparently lost the 2.2-inch because Jazzwares will now be putting a fully articulate 2-inch line out. So I guess kind of like Sigma 6 small figures, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little crazy if you're new to it.
Yeah.
I've been documenting this whole journey with photographs and information. I have so much information in a folder. It's not even funny about variants and exclusives around the world. Oh my goodness.
So all right. So Jazzwares is still doing the 4-inch, and Hasbro is doing this. And Hasbro revealed like one figure, right? One Fortnite figure at their Fan Fest.
5 or 6.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention during.
No, you're not completely wrong. On March 29, they revealed one figure. And I'm looking stuff up here. I've got, like as I said, everything here. March 29, they revealed the Foundation figure, which is actually like a caricature of The Rock in Fortnite. It's got his physique. It's got his voice. It's not official, but we all know that. So at FanFest, they actually revealed 4, 5, 6 or 7, 8 figures. 7 or 8 figures.
Oh, okay.
So a whole slew of them. And they look cool.
And I can see how some Joe fans will be like, oh, why are they, they gave us Fortnite figure reveals, but where are the Joe fan figures? Where are the G.I. Joe reveals? Unfortunately, but depending on your point of view, Fortnite is a much bigger seller right now than G.I. Joe, I would say. Would you say? Yeah.
Not for Hasbro yet. We'll find out.
Well, I mean in general.
In general, Fortnite is the thing. But I'll say this. I'm gonna respond to that. About anybody who says, well, we didn't get G.I. Joe reveals. 5 movie figures, 6 or 7 kids figures. We got reveals. It wasn't what people wanted. It wasn't the expectation they built up from themselves that was never promised once to them. We were not going to get anything outside of movie. It wasn't going to happen. When you market something, they're marketing the movie. They're pushing. It's go time for movie. So this is all a movie push, nothing else. And anyone who thinks they should have, or they missed an opportunity, or they didn't, is ridiculous. because this was a movie push for G.I. Joe. Anyway, that's my tirade.
I think you're right about that, and I think Draws agrees with that as well. Yeah. Shout out to Gaz. Hey, Gaz, thanks for joining us. So, do you think that we will see? Which do you think we'll see first? A wave 2 of movie figures, or a new wave of regular classified?
Classified and retro in June.
Okay.
Yep. I think. I mean, I don't know why people really want to push for these new classified figures. Come on, they're going to be a couple Cobra Islands. They're looking for a reason to be mad. I mean, you know, they're mad because they weren't able to be mad enough or madder. I mean, come on, they're going to be Walmart retro exclusives, Cobra Island Target exclusives. So, you know, just be prepared. They're going to be mad.
You are a G.I. Joe fan number one.
Number one.
Are you collecting classified? Are you collecting retro? What are you?
Not at all. All of it. Yep.
All of it.
All of it.
Do you have all of it?
I do. I have them all.
What success did you have finding them at retail, or did you look at retail, or?
Hey, what was I put in the foot traffic. What was it? January 1st, I think, was when Viper and Firefly came out. I was sitting in my car at 3 a.m. waiting for Target to open because I wanted those figures. I knew what things are going to be like. I know what the climate is. I know how things work now. I was sitting there. I wanted them that bad. 3 a.m. And I didn't fall asleep. I got there and all they had was Viper, and I was really irritated. They didn't get the Firefly shipment.
Now, did you buy all the Vipers they had and then turn around and sell them on eBay for
whatever? Burn the scalpers. Come on, dude. No, there was like 4 of us, and we all shared the Vipers. Mysteriously, only 4 Vipers showed up, not 6. The second we were there, they just put them on the shelf. We're like, hey, there should be 6 in the box. Like, we only have 4. Yeah, right, you do. They're in the back or something.
Would you say that you are? Well, let's go back. Let's go back to Little MacDowin. He's a kid. Little Mac. When you were a kid, what were your toys of choice? And
G.I. Joe. I kid you not. I had nothing else. I never find. I remember one Christmas I went and bought the 4 Ninja Turtles. Okay, they sat over here for a while. I think I had a few broken GoBots and Transformers. Maybe. I think they were GoBots. Maybe they were really off-brand. I found at a garage sale. I may have had an Army Ant, 1 or 2. Someone gave them to me. I only bought G.I. Joe.
Wow, you were focused.
I'm a hardcore G.I. Joe.
So what was your collection like as a kid? So if you were that focused, you must have kind of had a lot, huh?
No, because I don't have that much money.
Oh, well, okay.
Money prohibitive.
Oh.
But I got as much as I could. And I had like T-shirts and sleeping bags and pretty much anything I could find that was cheap with the G.I. Joe logo.
Did you have vehicles? What kind of vehicles did you have?
Middle to small, nothing really big. My biggest probably ever, Battle Wagon, probably, and my favorite. Oh, that's a good vehicle. That Battle Wagon, oh man, motorized, lights and sound. It shoots missiles, dude. Anyway, I'll calm down. Never had the flag, never had the Defiant, didn't have anything that people want now. That's too much money than it should be.
So nobody was begging to come, pretending to be your friend to come to your house to play with your flag.
No. I would have done it if I would have known somebody.
I knew a kid that I didn't really know until after I was at his house for something after school, like I played it after school or something. That he had Night Raven, which I didn't know existed until I saw it in his room because it was before I entered G.I. Joe, and he had it, hanging up in his room. It wasn't on a shelf; it was like hanging, like it was mid-flight, and it was
That's
beautiful.
Cool. It is, yeah. No, I had the Hurricane. That was the best I had for Cobra airplanes. Oh, that was cool.
I have for some reason, my collection, my adult collection has been a lot of aircraft versus the land vehicles. When I was a kid, my brother and I had zero aircraft at all. And we had the land vehicles, which I still prefer. I like the land vehicles, but I think because I didn't have any aircraft as a kid, I kind of compensated as an adult.
Excuse me. There we go. I'm back.
What?
I did like the Shark 9000. That was a cool boat, though. Shark 9000. Anyway.
What were your favorite characters or figures?
Shockwave, version 1. Shockwave, version 1. I know people like Night Force, but I like version 1.
Did you have any Night Force?
Yeah. The only pack I ever actually bought, because I could afford that, was Falcon and Sneak Peek. I didn't get the others. I didn't even know they were a Toys R Us exclusive at the time either.
I didn't even know they existed until I was an adult. So
here, do you want to know a weird small little fact about me? There's a strong possibility that Mark Webber and I were at the same Toys R Us at some point in our young life.
Really?
Because I live about 2.5 hours from where he grew up. Or
really?
Where he lived, and he would have to, I've heard him tell a story, he'd have to drive in because he didn't have a Toys R Us on his side, east side of the mountain. And so he'd have to come over to the west side and find a Toys R Us. And there was only, I think, 2 of them. And pretty sure he'd have gone to the one I went to a lot because it was probably closest to him.
Do you remember being at the Toys R Us and another kid kind of shoving you, like a red-haired kid just shoving you out of the way?
I don't know about that. I don't remember that. But yeah, that's kind of funny.
Oh, here you go. Gaz is a fellow Shockwave lover. And actually, I was gonna say, so is Steven from G.I. Joeberg. He is a number 1 Shockwave guy.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to send him a message and bug him about that. I'll send him send me your Shockwaves. Now, we won't discuss Shock Blast, but I like Shockwave.
Draw says, I thought the Night Force and Tiger Force were another offshoot brand of toys altogether and passed on them.
No. Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, Draws.
I remember the day I walked into Toys R Us and I saw Tiger Force. And I know there's a couple people out there who really don't like Tiger Force for some weird, mental reason. But when I saw those figures, I was like, oh my gosh, these look so cool. Duke was the first one I pulled off the shelf. I was like, whoa, these look so different from the figures I already have. I was like, yeah, buddy, give me some.
When did you enter G.I. Joe? What was your first, remember your first year with?
83.
83, okay.
First action figure line I ever got, and the old straight arm guys that were still out.
You were there at the beginning, and you still liked.
I never stopped either.
Because I've heard a lot of fans that were there at 82, 83. Once they started into the repaints, that's when for them the brand started going downhill. But you were still in.
I never stopped. Never. I've never stopped. Give me a good Sergeant Savage. I like Savage. I have issues with Extreme, but hey, it's not bad in some parts. I like some of those characters. And I was through the whole thing. Never stopped. I'm like one of those weird guys who take his G.I. Joes to high school and it's like, hey, check this out. I just got this guy. And other people be like, really? Really? Yeah. Okay, hey, dude, let's play. I never stopped, ever.
Dave C. showing some more Shockwave love. Wow, a lot of Shockwave fans with us.
There's a lot of secret Shockwave fans out there when you really get into it.
And Draw says Shockwave was a great army builder.
I suppose that'll work. That's true. He doesn't have a face until version 2, so yeah.
And he's the only SWAT guy, right, on the team. I can't think off the top of my head.
Unless you get Wide Scope in there a little bit later, but I think Wide Scope is the same character.
I don't know if they changed the file name for him or not. I have a feeling that it's wide scope because they lost the
there's a lot.
Shockwave.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters. We went through some very interesting times in the early 2000s. Agent Scarlet. Yeah, that's the first one I can remember off the top of my head. Agent Scarlet, really? We're doing that? Or then they brought their real names in. I think Sergeant Stalker was one.
Hawk was, I think, is one of the most infamous for that. He's had all kinds.
Like 8 different names.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hawk, General Hawk, Clayton Abernathy Hawk or something, and G.I. Joe Hawk, I think, is one of them. And oh my goodness. Some Hasbro get there, whatever. But yeah, Wide Scope was the only other SWAT guy.
Was there a period where you stopped collecting and then restarted, or you kept going? You never stopped?
Never stopped. Never, ever, ever.
So that begs the question, what does your collection look like now?
Depends on if you want to go down a sad path.
I think everybody watching wants to know what do you have? Vintage? Do you have modern? What?
I have 3 vintage figures, 1 vintage vehicle, and a couple stacks of modern, and that's it.
That's it.
In 2014, I had a fire, and I lost a lot of stuff. Most everything. I would say about 95% of my collection. And we're not talking just figures or vehicles. We're talking displays from stores, because I collected displays. Anything that had the logo I had, if I could get my hands on it. My favorite display was the Spy Troops DVD case from Walmart. One of those big island that sits out in the middle, holds like 50 or 60 VHS tapes. Boom, I had that. That was awesome. So I had a fire in 2014 and lost most everything.
Oh, man.
And so I've been slowly rebuying. Like I just got this guy in the other day. Agent Faces version 2. Ooh. Good guy. Good character.
Oh, that's one of those stories that you hate to hear.
Yeah, I don't have most of my stuff anymore. Disappointing. But more room for classified, right?
Well,
more. See, that's okay. And there's the thing. That's why I'm one of the few people out there who does not mind the retro collection, this new stuff. I don't have it anymore. So I mean, I'm getting it this way, and I'm enjoying it. And you know what? I'm sorry that some people will look at Walmart retro and think, oh, that's so junky of Hasbro to re-release this stuff. And okay, if I had it, maybe I'd think the same way. But you know what the fun part is for me? And there's a lot of people. And as you get this figure, you get this cool art, and you know the character. You've been with them for a long time. You get to open that thing up, get to pull that figure out and twist it all around. And that's fun. So whether or not, I'm sorry people are disappointed they're not getting the one figure they want, but they need to sit back and really enjoy that moment. Really enjoy that moment. Because it's fun.
I agree. I agree 100%. I think over the last year, I've seen more people, just between my channel and social media, I've seen more people saying they are either brand new to Joe or they are rediscovering it since childhood than I have before. Well, and so all these retro figures will also be new to them too.
And here's the other thing. We were kids. We made a connection with an action figure that was from a company who was trying to sell product so they could make a ton of money. Grab that credit card or cash out of your parents' pocket or purse or wherever. And what people are with the retro collection, they're being very, I say bad things about people, just warning you. They're being very self-centered. They're thinking that these figures are just for them, and if they don't like it, then it shouldn't be out there. They have a big world that they need to expand their horizons on. What about a kid who walks in there picks that thing up and then discovers something that's actually pretty special. So, yeah, I'm sorry that a lot of people don't get what they want, but other people are. I love G.I. Joe. I can't help it. I mean, it's all good.
Matt has a good question for you there, MacDowin. Was barbecue one of the figures that survived the fire?
Talk amongst yourself for just a moment.
Okay. I think he might be showing us something, guys. Going back through the chat here just to see if Woodman said 1982 for me started it all. So you were there right at the beginning. And I don't, you know what I don't see? I don't see a lot of people begging for the straight arm versions of the figures. I don't see, I could be wrong, but I feel like most people want, if they want a new O-ring line, they want like the swivel arm 83 and up.
Okay, it's not what you're thinking, but hey.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. Get up here. I can't quite hold it together, but I pulled him out of the rubble.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Melted O-ring and everything.
Oh, my gosh.
Vapor survived. Almost. He's loose. I do have barbecue, and this was my proof that I have barbecue. Version 1 survived, barely, but he's not in my little box of survivors.
Oh, was that, did I see a hardball in there? Did you have a?
Yeah.
I love hardball.
I actually put a little, I think a newer ring is in there, so I can actually pull him apart a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, a few of these, yeah. I got Footloose's legs from Slaughter's Marauders. But no, here's the important guy right here.
You just need a new O-ring on him and he's good to go.
I think so. Actually, I can't because I'll have to drill his screw out. It's all rusted.
Oh, yeah. But
no, barbecue version 1 actually did survive, and I was going to grab him, but I forgot he wasn't in my box. I pulled him out because I was doing a review of the convention Slaughter's Marauders barbecue, and I pulled him out. So, but he did survive. That was the funny thing. So.
Here, Nelson is an example of, I think, who I'm talking about. He says, great points. Classified brought me back to Joe and collecting since childhood. The retro figures are all new to me. That's awesome,
Get them all.
Nelson.
Get them all if you can find them. Man.
That's awesome. Good. I love hearing stuff like that where people are just joining, you know. And I remember when when was it? Sometime in the mid-2000s, I think. And I stumbled across yojo.com and like, oh, wow, there's other people out there that have been collecting this stuff long after I did.
Yeah. Okay, just on a quick side note, Wide Scope is different than Shockwave, different file names and birthplaces. Oh, that's right. I remember why I liked Shockwave so much. I forgot. He's in the choir.
Are you a singer? Is that why?
I like singing, yeah.
Okay.
I was in the choir for years and years and years and did a few solo stuff, and then I didn't. I dropped him. Poor
Jaws like seeing the survivors of the fire.
Oh well, in that case, here you go. Here's Footloose's upper half. Actually, Spirit Slaughter's Marauders actually survived pretty good.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
He's tight. He is tight. And he's missing his thumbs. No, all Slaughter's Marauders figures are missing their thumbs. But
Mikhail says Shockwave was awesome as a Transformer and a Joe.
Yeah. Shockwave could tend to business. Keep Megatron in line. No, maybe not. But.
He tried. He tried to usurp him at least once.
That's true. That's true. Oh,
it was something in the chat I saw that I was trying to. Oh, here we go. Ilmatic Prime, sorry if I mispronounced that, says, unfortunately, not many kids have played with a classified figure. And unfortunately, I think you're right about that, Ilmatic. But I think, oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's whatever. Go ahead. I was just gonna say, is classified really meant for kids? It's maybe been confusing up to this point, but we have a movie line that's now classified and kids line. I don't think classified has been meant for kids. Just a thought. I don't think I would. Okay, here's the thing. Here's my opinion on 6-inch action figures. I hated them as a kid. Anything that was bigger than 4-inch or 3 3/4 Joes, I hated. I didn't like them at all. I had a Brave Star. Sucker, I threw that thing away. I threw Brave Star away. Found it at a garage sale. I was like, I really don't like this. I didn't like big figures. It was huge to move into Sergeant Savage, and that was a big jump in scale for me. And so I look at all the 6-inch figures now and I think these are adult figures. These are not, I don't think they're meant for kids. As a kid, I would hate them all. So
I think I might have said it last week. My oldest son is out of toys, unfortunately. My younger son is still in, and he has access to the 4-inch modern and the 6-inch. He's everything that I've been able to get from classified for him, he has, and he prefers the 4-inch. Yeah, I don't know why. That's just
I'll tell you one reason I think, and this I mentioned it earlier. Way too much articulation. Come on, kids. We didn't need much. I mean, how often did we really sit? Okay, I don't know. Maybe you did something different than me, but how often would you go and put your figure in a pose, leave it in that pose, and then back and forth, or did you do something like this? Okay, I'm sorry. This is rock and roll, and this is clone rock and roll. Identity crisis here. Or how often did you just do stuff like this? Kick, 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 or boom, boom, boom. Did you like pose them first and then attack each other? Or I don't know. That's whatever. Yeah, 4-inch fits good in the hand.
My son likes setting them up and posing them and stuff. And if I thought maybe he wouldn't, because he's like 5.5, so he's not 9 or 10 playing with these. Okay. And he does get frustrated sometimes because they don't do exactly like if he had a 5 points of articulation figure. There's only so much that you can do with that, but with these, he knows that they have certain maneuverability. And just because he's younger, he can get frustrated. They don't do exactly what he wants.
One of the big things I would get frustrated with as a kid was if all, like you kind of mentioned, if they all don't have same articulation, if you have to figure out, okay, what does this one do? What does this one do? I've heard, I don't collect Marvel Legends. I've heard that some figures can have different articulation than others, based off of the posability, what they're trying to go for. That would drive me nuts if they didn't have some sort of a standard. So.
Dave C said in 1981 I had the $6 million Man 6-inch figure, and it was not his favorite. It was too big.
Okay, now do you want to know a twist? You want to know a twist? I loved Hall of Fame, 12-inch, but I didn't play with them.
I mean, with Dukes, Stalker, Snake Eyes,
Cobra Commander, yep. And the whole 20 or 30 others that came out. Yeah. And you don't play with those. Not really. I mean, they were not meant to be played with. I did some posing and then I put them on a shelf and looked like, ooh, that's cool. That's nice. But I didn't take them outside. I didn't play with them. They were not designed to be played with. I don't think like the 60s Joes were meant to be played everywhere. I mean, they had better articulation than Hall of Fame.
We had Snake Eyes, Stalker, and Duke and Cobra Commander. I think were the 4 that we had, or my brother and I had, and I don't remember. I remember being very excited to get the Cobra Commander because his hood was removable, and I'm finally going to see what Cobra Commander looks like.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
And then did you get Cobra Trooper later and discover it was the same head?
No, those are the only 4 that we had.
They used that head multiple times. But yeah, no, I completely agree, because that head looked just like Space Star Brigade Cobra Commander. Because when I got Star Brigade, I was like, dude, he's got the mask, he's got the short black hair. It matches. This must be. Wait a minute, it disagrees with Larry Hama.
It also went against the G.I. Joe movie, which I was a big, and I still am a big
Rise
fan
of Cobra?
of. No, the animated movie from '87, where he.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Know, he's reptilian. What's the man?
Once was a man. Sorry.
Ilmatic says he knows young teenage Marvel Legends and Black Series collectors that want to collect Classify but can't find them. Oh,
yeah.
That reminds me of what I was going to say. I think that these new movie figures are going to be in much greater supply.
I think so too.
than the previous Classified figures.
Well, yeah, people like to give Hasbro a lot of junk, and I've given Hasbro my own fair share of junk in online forums over the past 22 years, or so. But really and truly, I think the perfect storm hit them for G.I. Joe. I really do in the last year and a half. I don't think what we're seeing is what was supposed to have happened. I think, yes, the originals were produced in low number, but I don't think it was meant to stay that way if the figures sold well. And then everything stopped being made. The factories all shut down. You can't make anything when a factory shut down. When the factory opens back up, you can't just say, cool, my stuff is getting made. No, everyone before you is still being made. And then you send all that stuff out, and things get stuck in canals, ships sink, things happen. I think, unfortunately, they had a perfect storm of bad stuff for Classified.
Of course, there was a worldwide pandemic when they decided to relaunch the brand. Why wouldn't?
Dude, perfect storm of badness right there. Yeah. I think we're really being a little bit hard on them. I don't think they're the saintiest of companies, but I think I left even a comment on your last video that I think this pandemic has shown us on, how loosely the ground is built on some of these companies. How close to an edge are they? That it just took a little bit, and all of a sudden, boom, they're so far backlogged. Where Jazzwares, they have been kicking it on Fortnite. They have never had Fortnite not on the shelves. It has been there, maybe not exactly when they wanted it, but it has been there. I've been able to get everything I want just by walking in and grabbing it off the shelf. And
do you think it's because they're a smaller company? Is that the reason?
Either that, or they're more well prepared, or their numbers were higher. And so now, actually, some things I've been able to get, but things have disappeared for a while and then been restocked later. So I think they were ordering in greater quantities, and that helped get through the low times. With G.I. Joe being produced on such low quantities, boom, it was gone. It was gone. And you can't just flick a switch, snap your finger, and it's all there. And so it all came down to low quantity, I think, unfortunately.
Mikhail has a question for you. Which G.I. Joe figure have you always wanted from a kid until now?
That I didn't get?
I think that's what he's asking, yeah.
Ooh, I have to think on that.
Maybe that you've always wanted and you still don't have. It's still, something you want to get.
I got to think on that one. It's going to be a good one.
Okay. You think on that.
Because I actually had quite a few.
And Mikhail said something else here. He got into G.I. Joe by the Rise of Cobra line. What's your opinion on the Rise of Cobra line there?
All right. So we're going to have a disclaimer here. I could be like everybody else and say, ooh, it's horrible, it's bad. Accelerator shoots, oh my goodness, all that stuff. I liked it. I thought it was fun. It didn't slow down. It never stopped. It kept going. Sure, maybe a bad actor here or there, or a bad actress here or there. I liked it overall. One of my favorite part is, and not for the reason you might think, the ending. I liked the ending. I liked when Cobra Commander is standing there. He's like, "You and what army?" And then you see the whole G.I. Joe army. Classic Cobra Commander, in my opinion. It's like, yeah, there we are. We finally get Cobra Commander.
and the same opinion with the toy line that went with it.
I like the figures. Mm-hmm. I liked the armor, the uniform look. It was a very interesting take on G.I. Joe. The black suits, the armored suits. I think they were trying to follow the X-Men black uniforms from 2000.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Let's make it very realistic looking, whatever that means. But anyway.
It has to exist in the real world. People don't want to see, people that can fly with a hammer or wear red, white, and blue.
Right? Really? I mean, look at Marvel. Their colorful uniforms are working. I bet if they would have done G.I. Joe more like G.I. Joe, I probably would have done better. I bet it would have. Okay, I shouldn't say it this way, but really, do we really want nitty, gritty, realistic military? We all live in the real world. Isn't it called fantasy to escape, to really get into it, enjoy? And sure, we had 2-3 years of gritty kind of military G.I. Joe with the green shirts way back when, but it went color really fast. It went sci-fi really fast. And so most G.I. Joe fans are used to that. That's what I want to see.
I posted something on my social media, was it today or yesterday, about the Resolute movie and how I think that Hasbro would do well to follow what we've seen with Warner Brothers DC animation and release these animated films that can go anywhere. They can go hard and gritty, rated R, or they can go Sunbow, crazy out there stuff, and stretch it across the fandom.
Yeah, Resolute was awesome. That was great. I mean, it was definitely not for kids. Not for kids. But no, it was a very good different take on it. I liked Resolute.
How would you rank the animated series that we've seen so far from Joe?
Well, like all of them?
Yeah, all of them. If you've seen all of them.
Oh yeah, I've seen them all. I'm a Sunbow guy. I like Sunbow. I would probably always put Sunbow, the original cartoon, #1, and I would go to Sergeant Savage as #2, and
really
Resolute is. Oh, I love Sergeant Savage. That's so good. That one episode's awesome. That's great. I like it so much. I think that's the best thing that bridges the military side of G.I. Joe to the sci-fi. There's a great bridge there. #3 would be Resolute. Then we're getting the Renegades and Sigma 6, and D cartoons has to be at the very bottom. But I like some of the episodes. Junky animation, but I like that they introduced some characters that we hadn't seen before. We got Python Patrol, Slaughters, Marauders. We even get version 2 of Mercer, which I like version 2 of Mercer, by the way. Don't tell what's on Joe Mind. We got Ninja Force in there and the Eco Warriors. I mean, I like all those sub teams. So, I mean, Dick was neat for bringing in those characters. But story-wise,
Josiah says Rise of Cobra was pretty cartoon faithful as far as tone. I think so. I've heard that. I would say recently I've heard more positive Rise of Cobra opinions than I've heard before. I think because now kids that grew up in 2009, they were kids in 2009 when the movie came out, are now old enough they're voicing their opinions online, and they, when you're a kid, you are more receptive to stuff, I think, than maybe when you're an adult.
2 things real quick. I know you're probably running over, but I'm whatever. So the answer to the figure question, Darklon. Never had a Darklon. Really would like to have had a Darklon. That would be awesome. That he was cool. And to jump off of that, what I discovered was interesting. After my fire, I kind of went into a deep, needy, emotional depression state unofficially. I was a little bit down for a while. And so I just kind of backed away from the online community for maybe a year or two. When I came back, I discovered something. And that was there was a big divide in the online community. And I think we still feel that now. And that is the old guys, the old school people from the 80s and 90s. And then what you just said, the rise of Cobra, Retaliation, and Pursuit of Cobra. There's those kids that are in there that are getting up there and getting online. And so we have this very divided modern versus classic group. And that's where I think we get a lot of online strife.
That's a very good point that I think a lot of people don't think about at all, really.
Like, here's an example. I mean, didn't you just recently discover Shadow Tracker? I know you just did the review on him, but haven't you, like, wasn't like in the last few months that you discovered him?
No, I didn't discover him.
Okay.
I knew of him when he was originally released, but I never saw him.
Oh, okay.
At the store.
Yeah, like he's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites for modern. I mean, I'll take a Shadow Tracker any day, and I'll just like mess with old time fans. I'll be like, dude, we really need Venomous Maximus and Classified. Give me and they're like, who? I'm like, oh, I suppose we should get General Hawk first because General Hawk becomes Venomous Maximus. And they're like, what? They're like, are you kidding me? So I enjoy messing with the older fans who know nothing of this newer stuff.
Josiah has a good point here also. There's a big divide between comic kids and cartoon kids.
Absolutely.
Even from the 80s, there were some kids that only watched the cartoon and then other kids that only read the comic, and which are two completely different.
Oh, yeah. I never read the comic till issue 121. And it was when it was starting to get into Ninja Force stuff. Never even knew there was a comic book. So I came in online and made friends from the cartoon only. I was a cartoon guy. In fact, when I started at Yo Joe, I was brought on to develop the cartoon section. So I did a bunch of the cartoon section on Yo Joe because that was my thing. And then the comic wasn't bad, but I didn't have the comic history. I was a Duke and Scarlet guy. Mm-hmm. Blasphemy, I know.
Oh, Duke and Scarlet. Although they kind of kept that in Resolute. There was Duke and Scarlet kind of hinted at.
We're so confused now because there's some people like Josh Blaylock brought Duke and Scarlet kind of together a little bit in his Devil's Due comic, but then he transitioned between Snake Eyes and Scarlet. I mean, he brought in cartoon influences with Devil's Due, and he said in interviews he was going to do that. So, and we're all mixed up all over the place now. People screwed it all up. That canon. But yeah, big divide between comics and cartoons.
So we're going to, we've been going a little over an hour, and I try to keep these around an hour, and we've had some great participation here in the chat tonight. We could probably go another couple hours if I let it, but...
I'll talk it forever.
If anyone thinks up another question here in the chat, while you guys are thinking, if you have one more question for MacDowin here, I want to do just a little plug for next week, for next Sunday. Hold on, stop that. Next week I have another special guest joining me, and that is going to be Mr. Chris McLeod from the Full Force podcast and YouTube channel. He's here on YouTube as well. And he's going to be joining me right here next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And he's got some really good info that he got from a Q&A he did with the Hasbro G.I. Joe team. So that's going to be really interesting and should be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys will be here next week for that. And let me jump back in here to the chat, see if here we go. Shout out to Dagon. He has favorite place to buy Joes.
The store. And you think that's funny, but I'd rather buy them from the store than online. So, but can I say Toys R Us, even though they don't exist anymore?
Well, they do exist, just not.
Oh, in Canada.
Yeah.
Actually, the closest Toys R Us to me is 5 hours away. As soon as those borders open, I'm doing a Toys R Us run. And I'll video it.
So that would, for me, that would be what, like
a little bit further.
I can't think of how many hours. It would be several days for me to.
I'm actually going to be in your neck of the woods here in about 2 months, I think. Maybe a month and a half, 2 months, yeah.
Oh, the worst time to come. The worst.
It's all good.
It's so it's so hot. Gaz has a question here for you. What do you think of Sideshow Joes?
Expensive, but very cool. Very cool. Was it Cobra Trooper that they did? That was pretty neat. Yeah. Expensive. I didn't buy them.
Those were definitely not made for kids.
And I'm really glad I didn't now, thinking back. Yeah. Because that would have been expensive up in fire.
Oh, yeah. Ooh,
it was an accident. It wasn't actually, the stuff was in a spot that it wasn't supposed to be temporarily because we were doing some house renovations. And so the stuff was never outside of my house. It wasn't my house that went, it was a side building out, like our well house. And so, yeah, big accident.
So nobody was injured?
No, okay. It was a injury-free thing. Just my heart.
Here we go. Joe Ever asked, do you think the new Snake Eyes movie will be a huge success?
I don't know if it'll be a huge success, but it better be. I think it'll be good. I'm expecting goodness from it. Everything I've heard is awesome. I'm excited. If I can go midnight, I'm going midnight. I'm getting my tickets the second I can. July 23rd, right? Is that what it is? July 23?
Yes, July 23rd. Be there or
not be there.
I think probably the statement is
be there and be silent.
Maybe not. If it will be a huge success, it needs to be successful for the sake of the brand. I think we as a community really need to, I think even if you are not thrilled with what you've seen, I think supporting the movie will go a long way in pushing possibly other things that you are interested in.
I'm really disappointed when I see people talk about, well, hopefully the movie line or the movie fails. So the movie line fails and then we don't get more junky toys that we can't get. I'm very disappointed when I hear that stuff. And I don't feel they are true fans, those true fans. But anyway, I think we all need and want that movie that, are really invested in G.I. Joe to succeed. Because if it does, we're getting more toys. I mean, really, we're getting more stuff. We might get our favorite character. We just might get our favorite characters. But really, I don't like when people say the brand is mine, because dude, I'm going to be dead in 50 or whatever. I don't know. I'll be dead one day. There's kids younger than me that will live longer than me. And are we so selfish that we only want to hold the brand for ourselves? Or is it something we want to allow people to pass on? As long as it generally means what it means to us, pass it on. And things will change. We're not here forever. I hope it succeeds.
And Vagon, I want to answer your question here. No, there's no trailer out yet. I think I'm like Googling every day just to see. So
I kind of don't want them to put one out right now. I think there is so much hype that, we're on the edge of our seats. I almost think it would be cool if they don't right now, because if they do, we get more hate. I mean, we're gonna hear it, and that could be a big thing in the community.
I'm still amazed that we haven't heard. We still don't know anything about the movie other than
Snake Eyes is in it.
Snake Eyes, and now confirmation of these figures that we saw and what they're going to look like. That's it. I'm still amazed that there haven't been more leaks about what we're going to.
This goes to my firm belief that any leaks that come out is Hasbro planned. because Hasbro can keep them secrets when they really want to. Arctic Storm Shadow, nobody seemed to know anything about that until they revealed it on a Fan First Friday. But we knew about all the other figures they talked about. Didn't know about Arctic Storm Shadow.
And they kept all the movie figures. There weren't any leaks for the movie figures either.
I was expecting to hear stuff like the day or two, whatever, before. They can keep them when they want to. So I'm a firm believer, if we hear about it early, they allowed it out. However.
All right, I think we got one more question here.
All right, I'll just keep going. Shut me up.
Where was it here?
Enjoy laughing at the hate.
Joe asks, what retro figure is the best in your opinion?
Ooh, what retro? What does that mean? Walmart or modern?
I think he's talking about the current retro line.
Destro. Oh, he's got a cool face. I like that face. I don't. It's in the other room. I like the look of Destro. Although Duke is running close second. You know, I don't dislike that figure, but I do understand the points of why it's not a great figure. Mr. Jetpack Harness Duke.
Minus the jetpack.
Yeah, minus the jetpack.
I think there's a little. I think there should be a little asterisk on the package, like jetpack not included.
Provide your own. Throw him. That's the imaginative play value. You grab him and you throw him.
All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, and a very special thank you for MacDowin. Why don't you go ahead and tell everyone where they can find you if they want to check out your YouTube channel and social media?
MacDowin everywhere.
You are. That's
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Yeah, it's everywhere.
MacDowin.
I'm the only one out there. I claimed this name back in 1998 on the internet, and no one's ever taken it from me. And I'm MacDowin everywhere. Not real, because apparently I'm fake, but I'm MacDowin everywhere. Everywhere. Awesome. Everywhere. And every time something new comes out, I make it an account, so I keep it that way, even if I don't use it. I'm Reddit that way. I'm War on Cobra that way. My alliance is Mega Marines 2020 if you play War on Cobra. Looking for a few people.
All right, guys. Yeah, that's why I wish that I was the same. I got a couple, like my Twitter is GI Joefan82 because somebody out there already had Joefan82, and it still bugs me. That I don't have it.
I went out of focus. Come on, what the dude? There we go.
There it is.
I got little Kirk with me. If he can, come on there. Whatever. Found one.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching tonight. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you join me here next week for another Sunday stream. Check out MacDowin's YouTube channel. Follow him on social media at MacDowin.
Yeah,
across the board, everywhere, MacDowin.
MacDowin. Just don't put everywhere there. That'll be a problem.
And maybe we'll sign off with a Yo Joe on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yo Joe.